Hi everyone, I'm Arbazir, and we are here today playing Victoria 2 with our resident Victoria 2 expert Kelvin,
Hello.
and with the Prussian prince.
Hello, everyone.
All right.
So, Victoria 2 has a reputation of being one of the hardest Paradox games to get into. I'm not sure if it's deserved. Do you think it's deserved?
Oh, please. Hearts of Iron 3 is way harder.
Mm-hmm.
These people are just noobs.
But personally, I've not actually played Victoria 2 since 2010, pretty much. Literally, the last time I played it was 5 years ago, so this should be interesting. We will be talking about some of the basics to also make it easier for you guys. And since I don't remember half the stuff about this game,
That's why I'm here.
so the first 1 or 2 episodes will be maybe
Heavily
not
tutorialized.
strictly tutorial, but it will be tutorialized, let's just say. That's a
Yes.
new word I just made up.
Yeah, screw it, works. In addition, those of you in the comments, since Marbazir's channel hasn't actually seen much of this game, if you have questions, ask them. I'll see to it that they're answered.
Yep, we'll cover them in future episodes.
Yep. Because they're all good questions.
So we are playing as Greece. I'm playing as Greece.
I'm playing as Serbia.
And I'm Wallachia.
So, we are 3 border states on the Ottoman Empire, otherwise
Yep,
known as
and
time
we'll be
period.
beating the shit out of the Ottomans, right?
Roof kebab?
Yeah.
Roof kebab.
We'll see how that goes.
In particular, we all have 3 nations that we're going to try and form. We have the Prussian prince playing in his homeland in Romania, trying to form Romania. I'm playing as Serbia, and I'm going to form the most functional state of Yugoslavia.
That went well historically.
Yeah. And Marbaz are going to try and restore the glory of the Byzantine Empire,
Mhm. Yep,
which means our job is cut out pretty well for us.
very much.
Yeah. Hey, at least 2 out.
So there's a lot to do right at the start of the game.
Yeah. So first things first, we're going to need to address is national focuses, because the 2 of you are probably going to actually want to start with clergy. Go to the population tab and find your most populous province. And in there, you'll probably want to encourage clergymen. As long as
Alright.
clergymen is below 4%, that's not a bad idea. If you're me, you're going to do something else, which I'll get to in 2 years. Done. All right. And we're also going to need to set our technology. And I'm pretty certain every one of us is going to go for single-handedly the most important tier 1 tech, freedom of trade.
Yep.
Yep.
We're all really poor and crappy Balkan nations, so our intro will pretty much look all the same.
Mhm.
It's sad but true.
Sounds exciting.
And I will recommend this, but not mandate it, that you appoint your reactionary parties to your government. I will appoint the nationalists. I believe Prussian Prince starts.
I already have.
Yeah, you have your
yeah.
reactionary party in power. And for Marbazir, I think you have the French or Russian faction as your reactionary party.
Is it because of
Yep.
state capitalism?
Any
Yes.
particular reason for that?
Because each party has its own set of policies. In particular, the economic policy is the important one here,
Right.
and it's state capitalism.
Mhm.
The important thing about state capitalism is it lets you, as the state, build factories.
Right.
So you can force kickstart industrialization.
And without that, you have to rely on the capitalists to build factories, right?
Yeah, and we all see how well that goes in history.
I guess if you start out and make the proper factories and you switch, then it's not so bad.
Yes,
Or is
you need to give your industry the old drop kick though. Get started, get it out of the
yeah.
gate.
So just for our viewers who really don't know much about this game, wouldn't setting a ruling party to the party that only has 10% be a problem?
It's gonna piss some people off, but yeah, they're just the peasants. Nobody cares. don't let your militancy go too high. It's fine. If any of
Sounds
you
a
have
bit like
revolution, it's not my
CK2.
fault. Yeah, nobody cares about the vassal opinions.
Yeah.
Anyway, so initially it is going to cause a rise to your militancy, which is that little flame thing on the population thing, which is a general measure of how pissed off your people are at you. But overall, it's beneficial.
Right.
Just don't keep it on that for too long. It'll be
Oh.
fine.
Found a little trick. Well, it's just like an ease of access thing. If you go to like politics and you look under, you don't. The whole button is not like just a single button. For instance,
is
you
true.
can go directly.
You can
to
click on the little
reforms and
decisions
stuff.
button and it'll bring up the decisions tab.
Yeah, it's like Genius.
This interface is really weird. There are buttons within buttons within
Yes.
buttons. I'm not joking. It's freaking weird.
It's not a particularly new game, let's just say.
Yeah, this is what.
Also, we are actually playing with the beta
Yes,
build,
there is a new beta patch,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons why we're doing this game. It's
which for me, as for someone who literally didn't play this in 5 years, makes pretty much no difference at all.
But
yeah,
one thing that's really annoying though is the FPS issue. Multiplayer.
yeah. Unfortunately, due to multiplayer constraints, there's a bit of an FPS lock.
Yes.
All right, so before we even consider unpausing, is there anything else we should take care of
If you have
other
your
than
national
balancing our
focuses-
budget?
Yeah, you should probably consider balancing your budget. That's why I let it pass for 1 day, so you actually know how much money you're making.
Right.
By the way, because the game's an asshole, that little number under your budget panel
Mm-hmm.
is going to be different than your projected daily balance in the bottom right.
Okay,
Now, here's a question for you. Which one is correct?
good question.
Exactly.
Probably the one on the budget panel.
Here's what I'm
As
going to
in,
do.
inside the budget panel.
Open your budget panel. Check how
Mhm.
much money you have. I'm going to let it pass 1 more day.
Yep.
And let's see which number is correct.
Okay, do that.
Yep.
I think it was the one on top that was correct. Yeah, minus 27.
Yep.
No, the one on top was
To be
not
fair,
correct
to
for
be
me.
fair, it does say projected daily balance,
Yeah.
not actual daily
I just want to
balance.
throw that out there. There are 2 conflicting numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and only one of them is correct.
Yeah, but-
And that is
Right,
the
so
one on the
basically,
budget
we
panel.
want to tax the shit out of everyone.
For
Yeah.
for me, it was the reverse.
By the way,
though.
Barbazir, since you report,
Mhm.
just sink your navy. Don't need it. I'm not joking. Get rid of it. It is a
I got
giant.
literally one Clipper transport.
That's fine. Fuck it. It's expensive as shit.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah. Ditch it.
You
ditch
just killed someone's job.
Can you like
How
give
do you
it to
feel about
someone
yourself?
though?
it. Happy.
Is it not possible to give it out to someone or like
No.
sell?
Not that he has anyone to give it to. I mean, we don't.
Gift it to a city state for influence. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna let pass another day for something on my end, but yeah. So it's important to look at that. Man, tariffs don't earn me shit. Anyway, so as we go here, is everyone's budget relatively balanced?
Yeah, I'm earning 20 a day.
What the
Not
fuck?
particularly.
Hmm?
I don't want to tax everyone 100%.
Dude, okay, you're not actually going to be taxing people 100%. If you mouse over the thing,
Mm-hmm.
if you mouse over your slider, it'll say
Mhm.
that you have a tax efficiency and give you an effective tax.
Yep. Oh,
That's
yeah,
how
it
much
does.
you're actually taxing people by.
So you can just set it safely to 100%, yeah?
Yeah, at 100%, I'm actually only taxing people 23%.
Mm-hmm. Yep, same.
need to
But I'm
improve-
still losing 23 credits or whatever
Well,
per month.
let's have a look at your budget here. Where are you spending money?
Probably military.
Yeah, do you, if
Yeah,
you're
national stockpile, which is basically military.
yeah,
And since I'm not at war, I assume it's safe to lower it, right?
yeah, just ditch it. Just lower it to minimum.
What about actually paying people, military spending?
Oh God, no. Fuck.
Hmm
You think your soldiers deserve a salary? What are you, a
Keep it at
socialist?
50% or max it, because it starts at 50%.
I'd personally probably put it to 0.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Wait, you put military spending to 0?
yeah, for now.
Okay, won't
back
that
to
piss
it.
them off if you're
Slightly.
not paying them?
Yeah, you're trying to accumulate money at the start to build a factory, to start industrialization. As it turns out, everything except for education is pretty much secondary to that.
Okay,
You need to kickstart industrialization as soon as possible.
so it's safe to reduce it to 0. We
Yeah,
won't
not for too
revolt
long.
against you.
Look, yeah, it's fine. Okay, you're worrying too much.
And what about administration?
Administration, 0 that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely irrelevant if you pay
So
your
just
business.
education at the start.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
Because we remember
Right.
we are like the poorest countries ever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey,
it
speak for
sucks.
yourself. I'm richer than you.
but
I'm ranked higher.
you know,
Yeah.
administration is not like costing much though. It's like
Yeah,
fairly
I
cheap.
lied for Prussian Prince because I didn't realize Romania has money.
Mhm.
As it turns out, by the way, Romania has money.
it makes you a
So
lot of
Prussian
money.
Prince, I can't give you solid advice as to what to do. If you can afford things, yeah, spend. Go ahead.
I maxed everything out except spending and national stockpile. And
Yeah,
I still
exactly.
have 20.
Yeah.
month.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
So, bourgeois guy over there has got all the money in the world.
So basically, it's safe to set literally everything to 0 except education.
Yeah, the reason you don't set education as 0, and you can test this yourself, is if you set the education slider to 0 and then mouse over your literacy, well, we can't because it's paused, but it'll actually go down. You will no longer be educating people. For whatever reason, you can set everything else to 0, and everything still functions fine. But it's all you got. If you touch the education slider, suddenly teachers stop teaching people.
So there's one more issue here.
Yeah.
The number next to education is red, and it says we can only afford to pay half of what's said.
Is that,
Despite the fact my projected daily balance is 6.73, but I can only afford to spend 2.23. Why is
do you
that?
have how much money is in your treasury?
Right now, like 2,000.
Yeah. Okay. Don't worry about that then.
Mhm.
That's just a thing.
Okay.
It'll sort itself out in a couple of days.
Right, right.
So it's not actually something you have to worry about. But yeah, we're gonna.
So I think that's all that we had to take care of right at the start.
Yep.
Okay, so once I have enough money, I see that in my country I have grain, coal, wool, and that's
Yes.
about it. But
Also,
this-
since I'm in the United Kingdom's sphere of influence, I can get allied with them right at the start,
Pro tip: do that.
which I probably want to
Yeah, do that.
in order to not get murdered by kebab.
So, like the question I have regarding type of goods that you're making, so like wool, coal, and grain that I'm producing right now, is like, does it matter where you put your factories
Yes,
depending
it
on your
does.
goods? Okay.
Yes, it does. It's very important. Now, as it stands, there's also a system called states in Victoria too. There's a region map mode that divides it up for that.
Hmm.
And that's important because you can put a factory in a state, which is actually a series of provinces which produce different goods.
Right.
So, using you as an example, Prussian Prince, in your state, which is Wallachia, not to be confused with the country Wallachia, you produce grain, you produce coal, and you produce wool.
Yep.
Now, it's good that you produce both grain and coal because that gets you off for beer. Beer is all you need. Now,
Okay.
if you're Marbrazier, on the other hand, your Peloponnese fucking just all fruit.
Wait,
Are-
where's the easiest way to actually see that?
Oh, go to the infrastructure map mode in the bottom
Mhm,
right.
Okay. I
Uh,
just need to find it first.
yeah.
Yep, I got it.
And then you'll see little doohickeys over all the provinces
Mhm,
showing you
yep.
what produces what. So as it turns out, Marbrazier, you produce a boatload of fruit. So you know what you need to do? Wineries.
Right.
Wineries for days. Meanwhile, me and Prussian Prince have actually very good states for building beer. So when we get enough money, we're probably going to start building a liquor distillery. And then a glass factory. Very good idea for us.
Okay.
Depending on the state that you have, you'll have to work around with the resources to try and get extra bonuses. Because if you build a factory in a state where it produces resources, it gets extra throughput, meaning you
Okay.
produce more goods.
So it's just to be sure, the goods are state based, like they're not on a province basis.
Yes, it's based on
Okay.
states.
Okay.
By the way, I'm actually the only one out of all three of us that has more than one region.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I actually got 3 regions.
yes, you do.
Well, one of them is really crappy.
Yeah.
It can be a bit confusing because the infrastructure map mode doesn't make it clear what's which region. You have to use like 2 different map modes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy just to click and then it'll say Greek Peloponnese or
Yeah.
Attica or whatever. Keyword, if it puts your adjective before it, it means
Mhm.
there's another country who also controls a region in it. So that
Right.
might be the Greek Peloponnese and the British Peloponnese or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and so on. That's just a little distinction that can be kind of important.
All right, so I think we should unpause maybe, unless there's something
I've actually
else that we need
unpaused
to
a little
take care
while
of.
ago. We've been scrolling along
right.
at speed 1.
Mhm.
Let's
Yep.
actually start speeding up a bit.
Well, speed 1 is almost as good as paused.
It might.
Really.
Alright.
Hopefully the game doesn't crash.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I do have one decision available, but I'm not taking it because it would change my government.
Yes, it would change
So
you to
democracy.
HM's government.
Everyone hates democracy, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. A lot
At least
of
at the
people-
start of the game.
Lot
So
of my-
what would happen with the ruling party if I changed it?
Well, you'd have an election, and the people would
Mhm, yeah.
decide their ruling party.
And that almost definitely means I wouldn't be able to keep reactionary as the ruling party.
Well, actually, because you're in HM's government, you're still a monarchy, and that means
Mm.
you can override the election and then just reappoint the nationalists.
That sounds reasonable.
It does piss everybody off when you do that, but, like a lot more than usual.
Hmm. I see.
Like if you're an absolute monarchy, nobody cares if you change the
Right.
ruling party. But so help you God, you override an election to do it, and people get really pissy.
Yeah.
So since we're
Imagine.
talking about parties, can you say what exactly plurality does? There's a monthly change plus 0.04. How does that influence the
So
political
research?
system over time?
Sorry, the what?
Plurality.
Oh, plurality. Plurality is a weird thing. It
Mhm.
just sort of exists, and it will slowly over time go up.
Right.
And as plurality increases, so too will the consciousness of your population.
Right.
So you can fight it, but it only goes up. Except
Basically,
on-
they'll want social reforms more.
yeah, they'll want political and social reforms.
But you get better research too.
Yes, that is true. As it turns out, more liberal countries generate more research points. There's also revanchism, which is you get if other people hold your cores.
Right.
Very conveniently, it makes everyone in your country like to go to war more.
Mm-hmm.
So it works out okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Meantime, I need to prepare for the First World War that I'm about to start. Because I'm
World
Serbia.
War.
I'm
I wonder-
Serbia. It's my job to start world wars, isn't it?
So can you talk about that a bit more? How do you manipulate diplomacy to
Well,
start wars?
There are a series of map modes, and one of them in particular is called a crisis map mode. That is the very last map mode on the list. I suggest
Yep,
clicking on
got it.
that. You'll notice that out of everything, there's mostly dominated by two colors: a blank black grayish color and a blue color.
Yep.
The blue color are regions where crises can occur. Can being the key word. For example, like in Finland, because there's a bunch of Finns being ruled by Russians. And
There's also like striped region. To
yes,
the south.
those are regions you can influence yourself.
Oh, okay.
Or if you click on a country, the region that said country can influence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you'll notice that there's one little region in particular standing out that is not either of those colors, and it happens to be adjacent to me.
Tension
Yep, I
keeps
see, the yellow
increasing.
one.
It's yellow, and
But
it's
then-
slowly going to turn orange
Yes.
and then red.
Right.
Now,
was
if you
like-
mouse over it, or rather,
Flashpoint tension.
flashpoint tension, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll notice that that is going to rise over time.
Okay.
And if you you'll see there's the national focus increasing.
Right.
That's my doing. You see,
So
rather
you are
than-
using your national focus to increase tension in that region.
exactly. While
correct?
you guys are spending it on clergymen to get your people
Mhm.
educated, I'm
Right.
trying to cause a global crisis and start a giant war.
Mhm. Okay.
Should
So
we
I
try
could do the same if I wanted to with the striped regions
Yes,
to
you
the
could.
north
But,
of me.
It's
Should we?
unwise for us to do it all at the same time,
Mhm,
however,
right.
because multiple crises.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for the viewers that this is how you influence things.
Yes, as a tiny little power, you can cause a complete crisis. Viewers on my end will also notice I'm doing something else. I'm increasing relations with the great powers. Because, as it turns out, if great powers like you when a crisis rolls around, they're more willing to join your side to things. And,
Right.
the
That's what we
Ottomans...
spend our diplomatic points on.
Yes. You have little diplomatic points at the top, and it's wise to spend it on either, increasing relations with the great powers or forming alliances or what have you.
Is there a reason for me to increase that with, let's say, the United Kingdom when I already have an alliance?
No. The person you probably want to be doing it with is actually Russia.
Alright, I got
Actually,
the tech.
200 is max, right? So I'm already at 200 relations with them.
Yeah. Let's see. The Russia and France are both friendly with you. I'd be looking
Yep.
towards them for help.
I
Mhm.
just got
really-
Yeah, I'm at 125 with Russia.
It's not a bad thing. That is definitely both are wise things. to
So
get.
wait, can you stack up diplomatic points forever? Like there's no
No,
max?
it goes to a maximum of 9.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm at 6. So that's probably a good idea to spend them.
Basically, you'll probably want to say, if I were to cause a crisis, who would I want supporting me? And pro tip, the answer is always Russia.
Yeah, Russia. They will be doing the work for us.
Yeah,
And we'll take the credit for it.
pretty much, yeah. The answer is almost always Russia.
No Austria.
The problem with Austria is we have cores and claims on them. This isn't true for Marbazir. Marbazir can totally get Austria's help.
Yep.
But Austria will never support us as a result
right.
of this.
I
Even if
see.
we're causing a crisis in the Ottomans, they don't want us to be able to do that. Because it
Okay.
also looks bad on them because, they have cores. That means
Right.
Austria is actually very likely to back the Ottomans when the time rolls around. Rather than backing us.
By the way, I got technology earlier and I'm not researching anything. Do I still pull the points?
Yes, you pool the
Okay.
points up to about a year. Worth of
Okay.
points. You can pool up to a year's worth of points, give or take.
So what now?
I'd recommend either experimental railroad or Malthusian thought.
So no market structure.
Market structure's okay if you also want to get that. It's just more expensive.
Okay, so Malthusian thought and
Yeah, Malthusian thought for increased education.
Right, so experimental railroad unlocks railroads. What exactly is the effect of that for the
That's
viewers?
infrastructure. If you
Mhm.
click on a province, you'll see the ability to change forts, naval bases, and railroads.
Hmm.
Each province in a region has a railroad level, and that affects its overall infrastructure value. As the infrastructure value goes up because you keep upgrading the railroads, then the RGOs or resource gathering operations, the places
Right.
that produce grain, and your factories will produce more.
Should,
It improves their efficiency.
should I start with a cement factory?
Sounds good.
No, don't build a cement factory.
Okay.
So one more thing I wanted to cover in the first episode. What is the best thing to spend your money on at the start of the game? Like right now,
Factories.
what are we supposed to be spending our money on?
The reason I told you to appoint the Russian faction in your country was so you could build a factory.
Yep.
Once you have enough stuff, because as I talked to you before about fruit, you're going to want to build a winery when you get enough money. Oh,
Hmm.
well, I've started the crisis. That didn't take
Nice.
long. So if you go to the diplomacy tab, or just click on the bomb at the top of the screen, there's now a crisis going on. And the British just backed the Ottomans. Those bastards.
Uh-oh.
It's fine, it's fine. Oh, God damn it, Prussia. Increase relations. Come on. This is
Yep.
mostly for me. I have to try and balance things.
When there's no crisis, that tab is actually completely inactive.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh wow, they would really
So can
support
you
the Ottomans.
explain a bit more what exactly this tab is showing right now?
Right now,
Because
of my
I,
work-
for one, I'm
have no
completely
idea. Yeah.
unfamiliar with the crisis system. That was added in an expansion.
I'm trying
that
to explain.
I never played.
So the crisis system, basically what happens is a crisis starts when flashpoint tension gets too high in an area. And as a result, it just basically goes around a proverbial table and asks all the great powers if they'd like to support a side. And if a great power supports both sides, they reach a point of contention. And the other great powers will now have to, who are, in quotes, still on the fence, will have to take a side.
Right.
So right now, if you just mouse over it, you can see France, for example, is strongly inclined to support the Russian Empire. Prussia is strongly inclined to support the Ottomans. Austria is strongly inclined to support the Ottomans. And Spain, the Russian Empire. So you can see where things will lead. On occasion, though, crisis leaders can make offers to certain things and try and tip the scales. And there's a little red meter that is counting up.
Yep.
When that red meter hits maximum, a war will break out. On the
So
other hand,
as irrelevant countries like we are, can we influence who the great powers are leaning towards at all?
Or wait, they
no.
beast. They got a white
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah.
Yep.
The short answer is Russia backed down.
Hmm.
Russia accepted the Ottomans' demands to not give me land.
So can you do this
Unfortunately,
all
that
over
didn't go
again?
so well.
Like, do you lose anything for nothing happening?
I don't, other than all of my hard work building up that flashpoint tension. If you go back to the crisis map mode, it's kind of back down.
But you can start it
Yep.
again.
Yeah, I've already started it again,
Okay.
and we'll continue to start it again. In fact.
Okay, hold on.
Unfortunately.
Can you pause for a moment?
Oh, of course.
Because I got my railroad level and I have no idea what's good to research in here.
Right now, if you're just finishing that, which
I already finished it.
yeah. I would stockpile points. right now because in
Mhm.
1940 the idealism tech unlocks.
So you can just
Sure.
keep no research selected, and you will stockpile points.
Yes, for only about a year, however. It caps
Okay.
at 10.
Does it
Okay.
show somewhere?
Yeah, if you mouse over the little magnifying glass, it will show you we've accumulated X
Yep,
amount of
I got
research
it.
points that are currently in use. Doesn't say where the maximum is, but the short answer is the
Hmm.
maximum is the amount of research points you have times 1 year.
Okay, yeah, we accumulated 3,124.
That's a lot, jeez.
Yeah, that is actually a lot, and it
Hmm.
doesn't say what the maximum is.
Yeah, here, let me just keep moused over that, and I'm going to unpause for a day.
Hmm.
Does it keep going up?
Okay, hold on. Nope.
All right, well, you've hit the maximum. You should probably research something.
Hmm.
Let's see. Do you have freedom of trade?
Yep, I do.
Okay.
And I got railroad.
Okay. In that case, Malthusian thought. Just grab that.
Which tech is that?
Culture, social thought.
Oh, okay.
I would just grab that at
So-
this point.
Oh, yeah, that increases education efficiency. I see why.
Yeah. Very good to get in the early game if you can.
Hmm.
All right.
So I think this is actually a good moment to make a cut and finish the first
Yeah.
episode.
Yes.
The first episode, Kelvin's evil schemes to throw the
So
world.
can you pause the game?
Yeah, I should
Pause
pause
the game because I can't.
Yeah, all right. I'm the host. My schemes have been foiled. Oh, don't worry.
So
It's
thanks
always
for
next-
watching, everyone. And as Kelvin mentioned, if you have any questions or some things you want us to talk about, then feel free to post them in the comments below, and we'll cover them in future episodes.
Yep.
Yes. Or Calvin.
So thanks
will.
for watching,
So
and we'll see you
bye.
next time.